battlefield was filled with smoke, chaos, and fire. In the middle of it all, one man stood unshaken, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. But this time, the story wasn't about him. It was about his best man, a brother in arms, lying on the ground, bleeding, clinging to life. And what Traoré did next would shock the world. The sun burned hot over the desert. The air was heavy with tension. Gunfire echoed in the distance. Dust rose with every explosion. Soldiers moved like shadows in the sand. Among them stood Captain Ibrahim Traoré, strong, calm, fearless, but not alone. At his side was his best man, a fighter from Gaddafi's elite corps. They had trained together. They had bled together. They trusted each other more than anyone. Brothers not by blood, but by war. Together they entered the battlefield. Bullets whizzed past them. Tanks rumbled in the distance. Smoke made it hard to breathe. Yet they kept moving forward, shoulder to shoulder. Suddenly, a blast shook the ground. An ambush. Enemy fire rained down. Men scattered in panic. But Traoré and his best man stood firm. They returned fire. They covered their brothers. They fought like lions. Then tragedy struck. A sniper's bullet cut through the air. It hit the best man. He fell hard to the ground. Blood poured from his chest. His breathing grew weak. His eyes flickered with pain. He whispered Traoré's name. "Brother, don't leave me." Traoré froze for a moment. His heart pounded. He couldn't lose him. Bullets kept flying. The ground shook. Men screamed in agony. But Traoré had only one focus: saving his brother. He dropped his rifle. He rushed to his side. "Stay with me," he shouted. He pressed his hands on the wound. Blood soaked his uniform. The best man coughed. His eyes rolled back. "I can't," he gasped. "Yes, you can," Traoré roared. "You're not dying today." He lifted him onto his shoulders. Bullets zipped past. Explosions thundered. Yet Traoré moved forward, step by step. He was carrying more than a man. He was carrying loyalty, friendship, brotherhood. The weight was crushing, but his will was stronger. He ran through gunfire. He ducked behind broken walls. He shielded his brother with his own body. Nothing would stop him. The enemy saw him. They tried to finish them both. Bullets rained like hail. Traoré zigzagged through the fire. His mind burned with one thought: save him. Every step was agony. His muscles screamed. His back ached. His breath grew heavy. But he pushed on. He remembered their past, the long nights of training, the laughs they shared, the promises made. We'll never leave each other behind. And now that promise was tested. Traoré refused to break it. He charged through the chaos. His brother's life hung by a thread. Finally, he spotted cover, an abandoned bunker. He stumbled inside. He laid his brother down. Blood still poured. Time was running out. He ripped his uniform. He tore it into bandages. He pressed hard on the wound. "Stay alive, brother." The best man's eyes opened slightly. He tried to speak. Traoré leaned close. "Save your strength," he said softly. Outside, the battle raged on, but inside it was a fight for one life. Traoré refused to give up. His hands trembled. His heart raced. Yet his spirit stayed firm. Hours felt like minutes. The sound of war began to fade. Reinforcements arrived. Medics rushed in. They saw the best man's condition. They shook their heads, but Traoré roared at them. "Save him! Do whatever it takes!" His eyes blazed with fire. His voice carried command. The medics obeyed. They worked quickly. Traoré stayed by his side. He held his hand. He whispered words of strength. "You're a fighter. You'll make it." Hours passed. Sweat drenched them all. The silence was heavy. Then, a heartbeat. The best man stirred. His chest rose. His breathing steadied. He lived. Traoré's eyes filled with tears. He had saved him. Against all odds. Against death itself. The bond of brothers had triumphed. The war had not broken them. News spread through the camp. Soldiers whispered the story. The captain who carried his brother. Through fire and death, through bullets and blood. A true leader, a true friend, a man of honor. Even enemies heard the tale, and they respected him. The best man recovered slowly, each day stronger than the last, and by his side always was Traore, checking on him, encouraging him, never leaving him. One night under the desert stars, the best man whispered, "You didn't just save me, you saved my soul." Traore smiled. That's what brothers do. Silence filled the air, but it wasn't empty. It was full of loyalty, of trust, of unshakable bond, the kind only war can forge, and only true men can honor. Their story became legend, a story of sacrifice, of courage, of leadership, of brotherhood. Traore's name grew even greater, not because he was a warrior, but because he was a man who never abandoned his own. The best man healed and returned to battle with Traore once more. They stood side by side again, ready for whatever came. The desert wind howled. The war was far from over, but their bond was unbreakable. No enemy could sever it. No bullet could erase it. No death could defeat it. For they were brothers, not by blood, but by choice. Together they fought. Together they survived. Together they inspired others. And together they carried the weight of history. Ibrahim Traoré was not just a soldier. He was not just a leader. He was a man of loyalty, a man of sacrifice, a man who saved his best man, and in doing so saved a part of himself. The camp was quiet that night. Only the sound of crackling fire filled the air. Soldiers sat in silence, thinking about the battle, but all eyes kept turning to Traoré, the man who carried his brother through death's door. Some whispered in awe, others simply nodded with respect. He had shown them what true leadership meant. Leadership was not about giving orders. It was about sacrifice, about carrying the weight of others, about protecting those who trust you. That night, Traoré proved it. He did not just save a soldier. He saved hope itself. The best man lay on his bed, recovering. His body was weak, but his spirit was alive. He watched Traoré from across the room. The captain was cleaning his weapon, his face serious but calm. "Why risk your life for me?" he asked. Traoré paused. He looked at him with steady eyes. "Because without you, I am not complete." The words struck deep. Days turned into weeks. The wound began to heal. The best man learned to walk again, each step painful but determined. Traoré trained with him, slow, steady, patient, never letting him give up. He pushed him like a brother. He encouraged him like a leader, and he protected him like a guardian. Soon, whispers spread across the region. The captain who carried his man through fire. The soldier who defied death. The brothers who fought like one soul. Even enemies began to fear their bond. For how do you fight men who will never leave each other? Men who turn pain into strength. Men who see loyalty as greater than bullets. The story spread like wildfire. It reached villages. It reached towns. It reached the hearts of the people. Mothers told their sons. Fathers told their daughters. Children dreamed of being that loyal. One night, as the moon shone bright, the best man stood tall again. His scar still visible, but his spirit unbroken. He walked to Traoré and saluted. "You saved my life. Now I will save yours, whenever needed." Traoré placed a hand on his shoulder. "We will save each other, always." And so they fought again, side by side, stronger than before, their bond unshakable, their courage unmatched. Enemies trembled at their names. Allies drew strength from their story. They were not just soldiers. They were symbols of unity. In the darkest of battles, when men lost faith, they remembered the story of Traore and his brother, and hope returned. For hope is not born in speeches. It is born in sacrifice, in loyalty, in courage, and in the choice to carry another through fire. Ibrahim Traoré would one day become a leader of a nation, but long before that, he became a leader of men by saving his brother's life and proving that true strength is loyalty